Respect the queen. How are y'all doing? I hope y'all doing alright. I'm hanging in the best I can, y'all. Ooh. There's a couple of people I want to cut up right now. But we're not going to do it because we have things called prison and things. So we're just going to pray for these niggas and let it go. And these Caucasians. How about that? Ooh, it's a couple of them. Ooh. Anyway, let me just get straight into this video. What I want to talk about real quick before I lay my head down to sleep. Like, Lord, lay your head on my pillow. Oh, lay it down. This video is about Bobby Brown's story. The Bobby Brown story. I missed like the very beginning, maybe like the first 25-30 minutes or so, but I got the gist of everything that went down. Now this is the part 1. I'm gonna do the part 2 whenever the heck I see it. So yeah. But it's a lot coming up this weekend, like Married to Medicine, Basketball Wives, Black Girls Rock Show, and I'm gonna review. So it's a lot that's going on, child. Got the going on. So yeah, but Bobby Brown. Bobby was a whore. Bobby was a whore. Bobby was a male whore. I'm sitting down here watching this film with my mama, and I'm just like, ooh. You know how like when you're sitting with your mama or an elder, you know, and it's sex on the screen, you still feel the need to like want to change the station. You're just like, oh God, this is weird. I'm sitting here with my mama, you know. You want to change the station. It's uncomfortable. So I'm sitting here just watching Bobby just fuck all on the screen. And I'm just like, Lord, I hope ain't no kids up watching us. Is it all you did, Bobby? Was fuck and snort? Golly. I don't know, child. You know, Bobby comes from humble beginnings, you know, grew up in the hood and stuff, and, you know, met up with the guys of New Edition, and, you know, Candy Girl, Mr. Telephone Man, there's something wrong with my line. You know, the kids, the hits, y'all know, New Edition them. So anyway, they had kicked Bobby out the group. Bobby! They had kicked Bobby out the group, child. Bobby wasn't acting right. Bobby had started on that stuff. And, you know, he was able to, once he left New Edition, he was able to create a very promising and powerful, the P's, solo career for himself. Countless hits, you know, Roni, Don't Be Cruel, you know, My Prerogative, the song from Ghostbusters, Every Little Step. Y'all know Bobby. So yeah, bye-bye. So yeah, he was able to do a lot of things, including have sex. It was just so much sex. It was just, you know, he used to bring women on stage and touch them in all kind of places. And you know, they showed a scene where he actually brought this underage. Was she underage? I think she was like 16, 17, 18. One of those. But anyway, he took her and put her around his waist and all that and hunching her on stage. And the police arrested his ass right there. He was out of control. Out of control. He had his brother. His brother was his manager. His brother was trying to play by Mekhi Phifer. Hey, Mekhi. But he, you know, his brother was trying to keep him right. You know, they had one scene. He actually bought a house. Wasn't making payments on the house, Bobby. You know, he ain't paid the bills. They was getting ready to foreclose, and you know, they was getting ready to come in and put the pink slip on the door. They was getting ready to come in and take all this shit. And his parents were staying there at the house, but he wasn't paying the bills at the house, child, because he was over there with Whitney doing what lovers do. Child, Bobby had about 4 kids before he got with Whitney. 2, 3, or 4 before he got with Whitney. The lady who's playing, I think Kim, one of Bobby's baby mama, is Tasha Skanks from Greenleaf. She got on a black wig, or I don't know, it looked like her hair, but I don't think it is. She's playing one of Bobby's baby mamas, Kim. Child, I wrote down a few little notes. What is going on? Child, they had one scene, he was getting ready to perform or something. He on the tour bus having sex with 2 girls at one time, and his homeboy just in the front chilling, just drinking a soda, eating chips. But that's kind of like how it was in the 90s and in the 80s and in the 90s. Just sex everywhere, easy access. Drugs has always been accessible, and a lot of those celebrities, a lot of people, but a lot of celebrities in particular, they start on drugs because it's so much pressure on them constantly. It's so much touring, it's so much singing, dancing, rapping, whatever you're doing. Like, it's so much pressure, and you are so tired and so stressed out and over it and nervous that you need something to like keep you going and keep you up and keep you hype and keep you making that money, because you being the star, if you don't get out there and perform, the people that's working under you ain't gonna get paid. So it's just a whole bunch of pressure, and so a lot of times they start on drugs because they need a gateway. They need a way to deal with all the pressure and the pain in some cases. So they start, and then they just get addicted, It was crazy. It was so unfortunate. Let's see. What else happened, child? Janet. I had no idea that Janet Jackson and Bobby Brown had a relationship back in the day. Janet, you is the real secret squirrel. You is the real hush hush, don't tell nobody. You is the real, them Jacksons can hide a story, child. Janet, I had no idea. There was a cute girl they had playing Janet. She was adorable. Janet, when she had the curly hair, very, if I was your woman, the things I do to you. Y'all know Janet. Y'all know Janet. Y'all know Janet. So, sing it to me, sing it to me. Y'all know Janet. Now I'm all grown up. Y'all know Janet. Anyway, I just had to do that. Give a little. Y'all know Janet. But yeah, we love Janet, right? Bobby Brown showed up to Janet Jackson's home, the home house, with a white fur jacket on. He bought Janet a car. He was in love with Janet before he got with Nippy, and he had countless women. Apparently, he was messing around with Nita Baker. Body and soul, you bring me joy. Y'all know Nita. Caught up in the rapture of love. Y'all know Anita. No. The reason. Y'all know Anita. Y'all know Anita. Sweet love. Y'all know Anita. But anyway, apparently, allegedly he was messing around with Nita Baker back in the day. Bobby was just going in. And Bobby wasn't never that cute. But what it was that Bobby had swag. Bobby, how somebody can be sexy or sexual, but not necessarily like all that attractive. But beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Some of y'all might be watching this video and be like, he looked like Beetlejuice. And that's alright. But my spirit is okay. My spirit is good. I can sleep at night knowing that I'm a good person with my Beetlejuice looking ass. So anyway. Yeah, child. Janet was just like, oh no, Bobby, you can't be here. Bobby, you can't be here. You have to go. And Bobby, his feelings was hurt. He just spent this money. He was spending money left and right, crazy. He was like, I just bought you a car. What you talking about? You can't let me in. Oh no, Bobby, you can't come in. I'll make it up to you, Bobby. You can't come in. I'll make it up to you. Now, how did she make it up to him? Another damn sex scene. It was fucking all on the walls, everything. I thought Janet was a good girl. But she did say, now I'm all grown up, didn't she? Nasty boys. Nasty girl. Okay. I was just like, ooh. Janet was just fucking. Just had her up on the wall, up on the ceiling, on the roof, in the closet, in the bathroom. I was just like, ooh. It was a mess. So, Bobby, he was just laying there chilling. I think gave it to Janet. And Bobby was just like, so is you really thinking about marrying this dude? Child, Janet was married back in the day, back in the 80s, for like 10 years to this guy named Renee. Now, we knew about James DeBarge. We knew about that situation. But we didn't know about Renee. We didn't know about Renee. But Renee looked like he was Italian, white, or something. And Bobby Brown gonna say something that was very important. He gonna say, why you don't want to get with me? Why you don't want to marry me or be with me? Because he was in love with Janet. And he was just like, is it because I'm from the hood? Is it because I'm too black for you? Is that it? Oh, if I look like a DeBarge, that would be okay. Joe had some shit with him. I will say that. Because it is interesting to me that the only Jackson, male or female, that got kids by somebody black is Rebe. And I think she's married, I believe, Rebe Jackson. But either she was or she still is or she wasn't, whatever. But she got kids by a black man. She's the only one. The rest of the Jacksons, all the mans, ain't none of them got kids by a black woman. None of them. That's something fishy about that. And we look up to the Jacksons for their talent, who they are, their beauty, all that. You have this strong, powerful, talented black family that you look up to, that you, as a little black child, you aspire to be. You be like, oh my gosh, I'm sitting here seeing them, I can do it too. But then you find out they don't even like being black. Ain't that some shit? I can't put that out there. It's all alleged. I can't say that them people don't like being black. But it is interesting how none of them have kids by a black woman. And all of them black as hell. It really is. It's very interesting. It is. I feel like that's some of Joe's shit. Joe instilled, that in them. That don't date your own race. Date, quote unquote, better. Child. It's deep. It's something that should be studied, really. But ain't none of them gonna talk about it, child. They ain't gonna say nothing, child. Oh, Bobby, you can't be here, Bobby. I was like, child. And Janet didn't say nothing the whole time. Janet was the baby, so she was very controlled. And Joe had all of them on a strong whip, child, since they were little. And so yeah, they were. Luckily, I feel like for the most part, Janet is probably the one that's probably the most normal. And maybe like one or two of the brothers. But unfortunately we know what Michael's head was. I didn't ever think that Michael messed with kids or anything. I don't think that was the case. I don't think he did it. It was just all about money. It was all about money. All about money. And because he had he had a mind like a child. Because they didn't have no childhood, child. They was in the house practicing. I'm going on a rant. So let me get back to the movie. So yeah, Janet was just like, oh no, Bobby, no, you can't be here, Bobby, no. So water break, soda break. Actually, I shouldn't be drinking this, so I gotta go to sleep or whatever. A little Canada Dry, a little ginger ale. It heals the soul. It does. So yeah, that was crazy. And pretty much Janet went on to do her thing, and Bobby went on to do his thing. Left out broken hearted like Brandy. What else happened? Child. He ended up meeting Whitney at an award show. I believe it was Soul Train Awards. I believe. Don't quote me, guys, but I believe that it was a Soul Train Award. And this was when Whitney had crossed over to pop, and black folks wasn't having it. Because Whitney coming from the church, and then her doing R&B, and then on her second albums when she kind of went pop with I Want to Dance with Somebody, and Where Do Broken Hearts Go, and How Will I Know, etc., etc. So the black folks wasn't really feeling the fact that Whitney had quote unquote sailed out, and so when they announced Whitney's name when she was up for the best R&B female, I believe, they booed her. Yes, they booed Sister Whitney. Bobby and Whitney was sitting near each other. Bobby leaned back and say, "Hey Nip, you the best one out here. Forget the rest of what these other MFs got to say." Just encouraging her, because he knew that was wrong, and imagine how that feels, being booed by people that's supposed to love you, your fans. Bobby and Whitney, they went out on a date, child, and they pretty much just started talking and hanging out, and they ended up getting together. Whitney met Kim, Tasha Skanks, and T.I.'s former woman, or current, whatever. Met her, and she came in trying to uproar. Whitney was unbothered. Child, how many Whitney Houstons we done seen on TV now? It's been at least 10 Whitney Houstons, child. So anyway, so they had that little scene, and Bobby was just like, "Yeah, that's my other baby mama," whoop to whoop. He ended up getting Whitney pregnant, and Whitney found out that Bobby had messed around with Kim, got Kim pregnant at the same time Whitney was pregnant. Whitney was stressed and tired and through, and this was during the Bodyguard era, and she was working a lot, and of course Bobby acting a fool, won't act right, and she ended up having a miscarriage. Yup. And they ended up saying that they're gonna try again, because by this time he had pretty much fell in love with Whitney, but his penis was still in love with everybody. So they did a little photo shoot. Bobby was doing a photo shoot for his album, I believe, Don't Be Cruel. And he had to back out, and Whitney told him that, Bobby, I'm pregnant again. Whitney's pregnant again, Bobby, by you, my baby. So they was just like, oh my gosh, I get another chance at this. Meanwhile, his mama and daddy, Bobby Brown's mama and daddy, acting a fool, because the house, getting ready to get shut down, they getting ready to take all the stuff, and the mama arguing at the brother, saying, "You need to be there for Bobby." And the brother was just like, "Look, Bobby ass on drugs. He tired and through. He on drugs real bad." And I really don't know what to tell you. He's grown. He's blowing all his money. He ain't touring. He ain't doing that. He just sitting over in the house, and him and Whitney, sitting over there playing, sitting over playing Monopoly, and dipping and dapping, So he tried to go over there and talk to his brother. He didn't even. His brother was just like, "Look, one of your child's birthday is tomorrow, and you sitting over here just chilling." He was just trying, and I felt like Bobby's mother really kind of had some resentment on the fact that Bobby did not ask her to be his manager. He asked the brother instead, the older brother, I believe. So, that she kind of felt some kind of way about that, I believe. But Makai went over there, his brother, playing his brother, to try to help him out. And, Bobby wasn't trying to hear nothing, child. Bobby still gonna do Bobby, be Bobby. Bye-bye! They had a scene, child, where, Robyn, Whitney's alleged, lover from back in the day. Robyn was just always around. Robyn was in the picture before Bobby got there. And, obviously Whitney being African American, Whitney being from the church house, Whitney having the parents that she had, Whitney being in the industry that she's in. It would not be in the time that it would not be accepted for Whitney Houston to be openly bisexual or gay. So her, she had to keep Robyn's, she had to keep Robyn in undercover, even though everybody knew the situation that was going on, because Bobby actually knocked on the door and, was in there one night, and she was just like, look, if you ain't got no coke, you ain't getting in there. And, her and Robyn was having a munching party. And, they say Robyn just had a clamp. They said Robyn just had a clamp on her ass, and she could barely get to the door to let Bobby in, but she ain't let him in. But they said Robyn had a clamp on her ass. I was like, ooh. So yeah, that was a mess. I was like, Lord Jesus. They had a scene where Bobby Brown was cooking, and him and Whitney just playing back and forth, and Robyn's right there. Bobby he brings out 2 plates, one for him and one for Whitney. He starts to feed Whitney, and Whitney likes the food, but then Robyn ends up eating Bobby's food, just taking a few pieces off of it. She was like, oh yeah, the boy can burn, meaning he can cook. Bobby was just like, why did you eat my damn food? Even though, why are you even here? This is my house. We married now, me and Whitney. Robyn was just like, this is Whitney's house. Okay? Whitney Houston's house. This ain't your house. Go on somewhere. And, him and Robyn was getting ready to hang up. But, Bobby was feeling some kind of way because he knew that Whitney and Robyn was closer than what was supposed to be, And, Robyn looked at Whitney and was just like, so you gonna let him talk to me like that? Whitney didn't say nothing. She was stuck between a rock and a hard place. Whitney, she was trying to choose between her man and her woman. It's a beautiful place to be in, I would imagine, but it was hard for Whitney. It was hard. So, Robyn and Robyn's not the type to let Bobby, So, Robyn ended up walking out, and they say they ain't hear from Robyn again. Everybody knew about it. They got rid of Robyn. They fired Robyn. They wanted to promote this whole image, of Whitney and Bobby, But Whitney, it seems like she was never the same once they got rid of Robyn. Because Robyn was her lover, her friend, was did everything for her and really truly did love Whitney. But it's all about the image, child. Whitney, they didn't want to jinx it. It's rough, and still to this day, it's like that. It's just different when you're black and gay. On top of that, it's just different. People do not want to work with you. People do not want to, support that. Even though we've came a long way in 2018, people are still that way. It's different. It's different from being black and gay and white and gay. It just is. It's different rules. Look how successful Ellen is. Just as gay as she want to be and happy and freedom and proud. It's different for when you're black and gay on top of that. We're not even going to add the whole male thing on top of that because we know it's easier or it's more accepted being a gay female than it is a male. But we're not even going to. That's a whole nother thing. But yeah, Robyn, scooted and booted on out of there, and it was just a mess. I wonder if Robyn at Whitney Houston's funeral? Was she there? I believe she was there. Maybe she had to go up under another name. Child, they ain't even let Bobby in there, child. So maybe she had to go in the Code Red and not Robyn. I don't know. But they say they gave Bobby came in with too many people. It was 11, and he brought, his whole hood. So they was just like, you ain't getting into the funeral. But that's so ugly to do that. I couldn't do anybody like that. But we all know Sissy was an old mean lady. Beautiful, talented, all that good stuff Sissy Houston is. And my God, what a blessing to have a Whitney Houston. But yeah, It's just sad how these celebrities sometimes have to live and what they get exposed to, and how there's really nobody there to like save them, and sometimes they don't want to get saved, but it's just like you got to have that one person that's just ride or die, that's willing to shake the shit out of you and be like, wake up, ho, what is you doing? You know, it's something else, child. Apparently Bobby didn't even know that Whitney was on drugs until he caught her I believe on their wedding day, and she was snorting up with Robyn. I don't think Robyn smoked. I don't think so. But Robyn loved Whitney so much. Why Robyn didn't try to get Whitney off of it? I don't know. She's a star. She was a star. Everybody else was working under her. Who's going to tell Whitney Houston no? You know? I don't know. It's rough. But listen, pretty much what I summed up from this part one is just sex, drugs, money, power, no common sense, and most importantly, the world would just be a whole lot better if whatever you were born as was just accepted. You know, if you dislike me for the kind of person that I am, okay, fine. But don't dislike me for shit I can't change. Don't dislike me for being gay. Don't dislike me for being black. You know, don't dislike me for being dark skinned. You know, don't dislike me for having terrible vision. It's not my fault. It's really not. You know, if gosh, if everything was just, if everybody was just accepted for who they were, the world would be so much easier. It really would. If people were just accepted for being straight, fine. For being gay, fine. For being bi, fine. For being trans, fine. For being black, fine. You know, for just everything. For being Asian, fine. Latina, fine. White, fine. You know, if everybody was just accepted and there was no racism and no homophobia or none of that, it's just, if people could just live in their truth and be happy, and less crimes, less suicides, less killings, all that. But anyway, like I said, I just wanted to come on here and review part 1 of the Bobby Brown story. It's definitely good. This is good. It's needed. Go BET. Go BET. Y'all is really doing it. So, you know, I'm here for it. Part 2 should be very interesting. I believe it's just 2 parts, so, you know, I think that's enough. That's pretty good. It's legit. You know, BET is going somewhere. Well, at least with these kind of movies and series and stuff. Oh, yeah. With that said, darlings, I'm Mr. Chalaki. Mr. Chalaki on Google Plus. Follow me at ItsKingsWorld on Instagram and Twitter. At ItsKingsWorld89 on Snapchat. Chase King on Facebook. All that good stuff. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys later. Bye. Bye-bye. Janet. Oh, Janet.